Hi, I'm Amanda Skelton, an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'd like to show you how to make this lovely little gift pouch. So I like doing lots of different boxes and gift type paper crafts, and this is just, it's a bit like a little clutch bag really. It reminds me of the little pouches that you get confetti in for weddings. That's what it reminds me of. So it's got a little magnet clasp, and then you can put in something like a bit of jewellery or some chocolate or a nice little gift in there, and then it just closes with a magnet. So I've got two different ones here, different colours. We're going to do a different colour again today. So the papers I'm going to be using, or the colours I'm going to be using today, so I've got crumb cake cardstock, and the paper I'm using is the beautiful textured chic paper. So this is one side of the papers, and they've got the gold on them, which are lovely. And then the other side are these colours, which are really nice and actually quite nice and masculine. Hadn't really realised, but this one's sort of got snowflakes on, which would be good for Christmas. But if you use the other side, it's not Christmassy at all. So you've got options there for Christmas as well, and really like the colours. So this is really nice with the shells on, and really nice for backgrounds. So that's what I'm going to use today. So what do we need? So we need some cardstock, and we need a piece of cardstock which measures 6 inches by 11 inches. So you can use that out of normal A4 cardstock, which is fine. And then we need to do quite a bit of scoring. So let me keep this the right way up. Okay. So if you're going to, so what you want to do is score down 1 1/4 inches. You might not be able to see. Let me see if you can see the score marks there. So you want to score down from on the long edge. You want to score down 1 1/4 inches, 1 1/2 inches, and then down here is 4 1/2 inches, and then 5 1/2 inches. And then you want to turn it around, and you want to score down 1/2 inch. 4 3/4 inch, 5 3/4 inch, and 10 inches. What you also need to do is keep it this way round, and from this edge you need to score down at 5 1/4 inches, but you only want to go across to from this edge you want to go across to 4 inches. So this needs to be 4 inches across. You don't want to go down to meet the other scored line. And here at 10 1/2 inches here, you want to again score down to 4 inches down from this right edge. And then what you need to do is do little scores to make little triangles. So these don't quite come, so let me show you this. So I've done this, which might be a bit easier to see. So this is the dimensions and the score lines. So these are the 4-inch lines I'm saying about. You're not going to quite come down to this score line, but you want to do score lines to make little triangles. And what that will do is it makes these little pockets at the side. So that's what that does. So I'll just leave that there a minute, and you can get the dimensions. Hopefully you can see that okay. Okay, so hopefully you can pause that. Okay, let's get going then. Oh, so what we also need to do is these lines here are where we need to cut away our spare pieces we don't need. Now this might be a bit confusing, because I'm going to do mine back to front, because I don't know if you can see, I've left some card on top of here, and it's meant that the card has bleached a little bit where it's been in the sun. So I'm going to actually do mine the other way around. But I have actually, so this is cutting this here, so I have done it the same way. But if you follow this, it'll be fine. So what I tend to do is mark the pieces I'm going to cut, and it makes it a lot easier. Now these are going to be the top edges. When you open this, these are going to be the top edges of here. Now if you want to cut it by hand, you can do, but you can also use your paper trimmer. And I'm going to use my paper trimmer for exactly that reason. Now especially on the top, maybe the other bits you don't need to worry about, but especially on here. So this is the second score line down. I'm going to cut to there, and then I'm going to cut into there to meet that. hopefully that, yes, there you go. Okay, the others I'm going to do by hand because you're not going to notice, because it's the bottom edges and the side edges, so you won't notice so much. So let me just get a pair of scissors. So I'm going to cut this little piece here. So this is how it's looking at the moment. So I'm going to cut this piece off. And cut this piece off. And what you might want to do is just, these are going to become a little tab to put in. And then I'm going to cut this one, and this one again. I could have used the trimmer actually to get a nice, if I get the scissors in there, to get a nice straight line. But for ease of showing you, I'll do it that way. Okay, and then this section up here as well, so it's the long piece and the small piece. But again, refer to the diagram that I set down, because that will be the easiest way to do it. Okay, so that should be everything you need there. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to cut up these two, because these are going to be the side pieces. I'm going to cut up there and up there. And again, I'm just going to take a small slice out. Okay, so then we end up with this. Okay, so then we can, so I'm going to do this in, again, this is where I've got this, so I'm going to do mine inside out. So you just need to work out which way you want to fold your lines. Now, where you've got this line that doesn't quite meet down to the middle, don't worry about trying to fold that one in for the moment. That will come when you put the box together. So just do the full ones that come down to the full way. So there we go. Okay, so there we have it. So this will just be the opposite way round to this one in terms of where my fold is, but it'll work just the same. And then this is the bottom of the box, as you can see there. Okay, so before we put it together, we need to put our pieces of patterned paper on. So these need to measure. We want one that is 1 inch by 4 inches, and one that's 1 5/8 inch by 4 inches. So these are going to become these pieces here. Now, what I did on mine is I rounded my edges. Now, I'm using the old envelope scorer, which isn't available anymore. And then there used to be like a little corner hot punch that you could use to put rounded edges on. You may still be able to find those. We don't need to do, don't need to do it for the big piece. We want to do it for this top flap. So this is the flap that comes across here. So we want to round those two edges off. So, oh, I didn't do very well, did it? I think I didn't put it in there properly. No, it's still not going. That's better. That's better. And then what you need to make sure you're doing is when you're on your, so not the big piece, the small piece. what you need to make sure is if you've got directional paper, this isn't, but if you have got directional paper, you need to remember that when you're doing like this is not going to be the right way up. You need to remember that that flap is going to come over the front. So you need to make sure that you've got it the right way up for that. And we're going to just take the 2 corners off the bottom edge. So like I said, this isn't directional, but if you have got direction, just make sure you get it up, get it on the right direction. Okay, so that's all we need that for. So what we have then is this section for here. This is going to come over the top, so you don't need to put it the whole way up. And then this one is going to go on here. Okay, so now we can start, let's put the, so I'm going to do it this way so I can see, but then your rounded edges will help. If you haven't done rounded edges, you want to be holding it this way so you know that this is the right direction. So I'm just going to get some double-sided glue tape, and as always these papers have got 2 sides, so you can decide which you want to have on display, or you can mix it up and do both if you want to. Okay, so that's that one, and then this is this one, so the opposite panel to your closing flap here you want to have, and you want to put it at the bottom. Just centre it left and right, and then just put it on the bottom like that. Okay, so there you can see that's going to come over. Okay, now what we're going to do now is seal this edge here. So what I think I'm going to do is use tear and tape, which I'm going to get ready. Okay, so on this outside edge, so that's going to go under here, I'm going to put some tear and tape. I might even put 2 pieces on. Oh, where did my scissors go? On the floor. So I'm going to put that piece on. I'm going to take the protective strip off, and I'm going to put another piece on just to the side of it, just to make sure it's nice and strong. Ooh, it's nice and strong, it just stuck to my fingers there. So let's just press that down. Oh, hopefully that will stick. Yeah, it should be okay because I've got another piece on there as well. Okay, so want to offer that up to the other edge and make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, then you can press those in. I haven't particularly stuck these in, but if you've got something in there you don't want to fall out, you could just put a piece of tape at the back, and that will make sure that that's nice and secured. Okay, so now you've got your box, and what you want to do is just want to encourage these to fold in. So just get your fingers and just press those in like that, and then that just offers those to fold there, and that becomes your box. Okay, so now we need to put the closing on. Now you can use different things here. You can get those little like Velcro dots, which might be a good idea, but I tend to use these little magnets, and they're very tiny actually, and you do have to be careful with them. You can lose them very easily. So that's 2 of them there, and they're tiny. Now I've tried different things with this in terms of getting them to stick. I've tried just the liquid glue, which I don't think was strong enough really for these magnets. I've seen glue dots being used, which is what I'm going to use now. When the liquid glue didn't work, I actually ended up using super glue. Otherwise I was finding that one was taking off that both of them were ending up on one side or the other. So you can use super glue, but obviously be careful with super glue. I'm going to use glue dots for this and see if that makes it any easier. So what I've got is I've got both together here. So that's how I know that they're going to be in the right place together. And I've got my glue dots here. Now they're probably a little bit bigger than, they are a little bit bigger. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to cut them in half. Oh, she says. I don't know if this will work, if it'll pick up the glue from there now. It might do. Okay. And then you just want to put it roughly in the middle. Give that a really good press down. I still don't know if that's going to work, to be honest. And then I'm going to get the other side of the glue dot and I'm going to press that onto that. So now we know that the two clasps are going to meet together. And then I'm going to close it like that. Oh no, see, it's not really strong enough, but they are in the right place. So what I'd suggest you do is maybe use super glue or something like that, or maybe leave that and see how it goes. It might be that that actually is overlapping and that's actually sticking to it, but if I do that, no, it's not strong enough. Okay, in that case I'll probably resort to super glue. Unless you've got something like, is it the red tape that you can use, which is really strong as well, so you could try that as well. But you get the idea, so hopefully you'll enjoy that. In fact, what I would suggest, I've put that too high up, so I'll probably readjust that and put it further down so that it closes a little bit easier. The higher up it is, the harder it is that this is going to meet that anyway, so I'm actually going to move it further down. So let's see if I can do that. The fact I can easily pull this off of here means that it's not really sticking very well. So I probably will. There you go. So I've put that on there. And if you were using liquid glue or something like that, what I would do is I would use the liquid glue, put a dab on the second one that's already attached, use that to close it, and you'll see where the glue ends up. No, this isn't going to work. Oh, yes, it is. Then you'll see where the glue ends up on this side, and you can use that to know where to put your extra glue. But yes, I don't think that that is going to, it might do. If I maybe let it settle for a bit, it might work. Okay, but that is a better position. You want it a little bit further down to where I had it before. So there you have it, a little gift bag, which is quite pretty. But yes, I can see that's pulling it off again. So yes, I shall glue that separately afterwards. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Again, it's a lovely little gift thing. It could be quite good for Christmas as well coming up. Nice way to put a little gift in there. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. As always, you can find the products on www.amandascraftedcards.stampinup.net, and I'm on Facebook as Amanda's Crafted Cards, and I'm on Pinterest as well, so you can find me there. Hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye.